get some Gears of War 5 casting, at least under my belt. Like I said, you guys had a great broadcast last week, but like we said, guys, feel free to let us know on social media at UMG Gaming. Let us know in the chat as well your thoughts, your predictions coming into this particular game. Like we said, Hive versus Ghost Gaming. Got to keep in mind, like we said, we'll be utilizing a sub Enzim playing for TJ for this first game, and of course, it's somewhat proper to hop on with the sub for this first engagement, Ryan.
I mean, it looks like he's starting off pretty strong, picking up at least a couple eliminations. He's going to continue to move forward. Unfortunately, he will be dropped. The members of Ghost Gaming starting to even the numbers back up. You're going to see a couple members of Hive start to be dropped as the Lancer fire is coming in. Here comes a shotgun by Dezo, getting aggressive, taking out one, trying to get a second. He's going to regain his health while his teammate Monkeys follows up. So a little bit of a slow start, I would say, by Ghost, but they picked it up quite quickly, and now the map seems to be in their hands.
We'll see how they can start to kind of utilize this a little bit more. Like we said, Hive currently down in man count. However, that could quickly start to change up. Monkeys obviously utilizing some fire off the start early. Possible domination inbound. Just a matter of can Hive get there in time? And from that bird's eye point of view, it looks as if Monkeys will have to spectate his teammates as they'll constantly be an array of fire. Regardless of that, though, Hefe does take down Identivs, and that's going to be A granted back toward Hive.
Yeah, we're going to hop on board, like I said, with Hefe, currently 2 hills in favor of Ghost Gaming. It looks like Hefe might be finding himself in a 1v1 situation against Monkeys. Luckily has some team fire coming in. I believe that was the substitute in Enzem, as now Hive has managed to take control of B, heading over, edging towards that C hill. I think he knows there's a couple members of Ghost there waiting. So you can see on your screen the score very, very close. Hive looking to kind of extend a bit of a lead in the first round. Dezo being as careful as he can. He knows the setup is there. Going to be up to Ghost Gaming to kind of respond to this, see where their push is going to be. Are they going to go for the double home hill? Are they going to go for that B hill? Meanwhile, Hive, like I said, just set up and waiting.
Yeah, it's the waiting game, at least for now. Identivs could actually be the man to make the play, depending. Obviously, looks as if Ghost Gaming somewhat surrounding themselves, possibly mustering up a decision, and it looks as if A may be the call. Identivs already taken a decent amount of shots off the rip, but trying to dodge, trying to stay alive. Flash comes through, and that's when Identivs can easily make a presence happen. However, he ends up getting taken down by his own teammate. Monkeys still is taking down multiple enemies and definitely doing some damage. So regardless of the friendly fire that comes through here, Ryan, Ghost Gaming, they rule out.
Yeah, numbers definitely swaying in their favor. Right now it's going to be 3 down for Hive. Ghost is taking control of the 2 home hills. They're now heading towards that B hill. You see the remaining members of Hive doing everything they can. Ghost needs to, at the very least, get a break here to kind of close this time gap. You can see on your screen, Cog is still in position to win, even with that 1 hill. You can see the A being decapped, B being decapped. This favors Ghost Gaming right now. They're trying to get on all 3 hills, but at the very, very least, like I said, they got that break. If they can hop on this 2 cap, that should put them in position to win on that 2 home hill setup. You can see Sleeper and Monkeys in the kill feed. Numbers all in Ghost Gaming's favor. No one can get a hold of A. The trip cap's going to come in, and it will be Ghost Gaming who gets the party started first.
That was definitely a fun round to kick things off with, like we talked. But of course, the in terms of respawn counters, that is now kind of changed up a little bit. The longer ones coming at least off the start, but still, I kind of like that one situation where it was if Identivs was kind of looking at his teammates and saying, "Hey, now's the time to make the push." Monkeys comes through, and I think at least drops 3 to 4 players. One of those being his own teammates, but even still, yet Ryan, that was a very impressive play where Ghost, like we said, was kind of their backs were against the wall. They made the right call, and they kind of forced the issue.
Yeah, you're going to see, obviously, the flashbangs being placed on each side. For the first 2 rounds, you're definitely going to see a lot of sort of that mirroring strategy. Both teams starting to build up towards those ever-popular power weapons. So, again, not a ton will change in terms of what you're going to see on these initials. You're still going to see sort of the main fight heading over towards that overlook. You're going to see Identivs, the main Slayer, in that first shot, getting tagged up a bit himself. Hefe's got a good angle on him. That's going to drop him early. Chaos going to get in there for the revive. It's going to work with both players taking the low health. The flashbangs are coming in. Hive is moving forward. You see Identivs doing everything he can. It sounds like he's been spending the entire time regaining his health. He tries to move forward, gets tagged up once again, finally is dropped. That should put him on his very last down. And we find ourselves in a bit of a stalemate. Hive has so far sort of had the upper hand, but no players have been dropped just yet until Dezo in your kill feed gets first blood onto Demise.
Big frag to find. Enzem trying to catch a few of the Ghost Gaming players. They're trying to go out to the employee exit, nearly going for the blitz shotgun. Still staying up. Enzem's trying to do his best to stay alive, considering the way the kill feed looks right now. As there we have it, 3 players fall. Tidy and Demise left up to try and pretty much hold on, and Tiny does manage to drop Sleeper in the meantime. So despite a few of these struggles, Hive is still trying to hang on for as long as possible, getting a few players up, but there we have it, 3, 4 nearly players dropping. This is starting to get a little bit scary, Ryan, if it's not already.
AC Chaos tagging up the members of Hive. They're trying to at least get him out of this position. The B hill is what Hive needs to at least work on at the very small. You see Chaos getting that first time, cleaning up Noe. His teammate Inzam has no choice but to jump over, try to get that break. Ghost is waiting right there for him. Nothing the boys on Hive can do, and Ghost strikes once again. That gives them a 2-0 lead, and they have been looking very, very strong in this mid-round so far.
Yeah, what have you liked about their mid-round in specifics? Has it just been, I mean, obviously just shooting straight, of course, is a typical comment, but is there anything in specifics that's really kind of highlighting them and kind of the way that they've dominated pretty much?
Well, first of all, Dezo has been just killing everything in sight. 16 eliminations through the first 2 rounds. What I liked from Ghost there is you could see all the pressure Hive was putting on. They kept getting the downs, or they kept getting the positioning, but Ghost held strong. They played close. They got their revives, and they withstood all the pressure from Hive, and then they reacted, and then they got the kills. Right? They finished what Hive tried to start. So again, their mid-round has been very, very strong to me. They've been playing good together. They've been playing close. Like I mentioned, the Wolf packing well. So what I'm seeing out of them so far.
We'll see if they can keep it up. Keep that same game plan flowing, as the flashes are definitely out and about. Early engagements we talked about are important. That's exactly what Hive realizes. Noe and Inzam tidy, finding a few off the rip. At least going for a few knocks off the start. Chaos realizes maybe time to hop out of shop for now. Try to fall back and join alongside my teammates, which looks to be the right position to make. But Hive, Ryan, they're looking fantastic off the start of this round 3.
Yeah, I mean, open with a couple kills, and you saw right away, Dezenite, big double kill, equalizes the numbers. You can see things are still definitely going in Hive's favor. They're getting the numbers. They do have the A and B hill. They continue to move forward, but man, Dezenite hadn't got that double kill. This would be a lot different. You see Ghost once again standing strong, getting that kill on Noe, withstanding these pushes. So again, every time it seems like Hive is making sort of a good push, every time they start to get numbers, Ghost continues to hold strong, and they continue to withstand the pushes. Very impressed with what I'm seeing from them. You're going to see all 5 members alive. Now they're back at full strength. It's going to be up to them to make their decision. They're going to push towards B. They're going to try and maybe go for that OE.
See if they can make that happen. Like we said, of course, the school board indicating time to be aware of when it comes down to Hive at this moment. Monkeys finds one through middle, and Demise now has to reference back and be aware of the pinch that could be someone in play. Monkeys is trying to spot him and actually has to receive a shot of his own. Goes for the knife. Can he get the melee off? And he'll get the shot regardless. Solid play from Demise. And like we talked about, Ryan, those recent melee tweaks coming through.
Yeah, the melee has gotten definitely a pretty significant nerf, of course. You can still melee after shot pretty quickly, but the magnetism has been kind of brought in, right? The range has been brought in, so the melee, as you already can see, isn't sort of the automatic option that it was before this patch. So very happy with the changes that were made there. I think you're going to see a lot more gunplay in the close quarter than you were seeing before. It's definitely a positive change. And speaking of close quarter play, the fight is starting to ensue at B. Mid-range is coming into effect. Lancer Fire is coming in. It's going to be Ghost, who once again seems to be having the successful mid-round pushes. They take down both Tidy and Noe. It gives them a 4v3 situation. Dezo continues to move forward alongside his teammate Monkeys, and Ghost appear to have their sights set on a little more than B. You can see the pressure being applied over at A. I think they know that the time deficit is still fairly large. Hive already at that 2:15 mark. So if Inzam gets taken down here, that should give them a pretty clean ride. Unfortunately, the shock grenade comes in. Inzam manages to stay alive. It's going to put him in a decent defensive position.
Oh.
Team kill coming in. Hive looking like they might be able to pull this off. They might be able to withstand that A hill despite so much pressure from Ghost. And Inzam staying alive there was everything.
You need to try to make a play. If you're Ghost, time's starting to tick away. You may realize what is the inevitable. Trying to go for the decap right now, but regardless, nothing really going to be accomplished. This one is going to go in the hands of Hive, as they will manage to grab their first round. In case you saw in the background, a few excess punches coming through from Hive. They're feeling good about that round victory, Ryan. And I got to say, it did look a little bit scary. We talked about off the initial, they looked fantastic, but you get Ghost in those mid-rounds, and we know how the first 2 rounds have gone.
Yeah, I mean, Hive has started off, a couple of these rounds fairly strong, I would say, right? They put the pressure in, they kind of took the fight to them, used their teamwork well, but just weren't managing to finish off those kills. And Ghost, like I said, wasn't able to kind of pull off the mid-round push this time. And I think with these drop shots in play, you're going to see the fights ensue a little differently. Of course, both drop shots being still at that 150 respawn time, not cut in half just yet, so you're not going to see them quite as much as we're used to. But I do think that's definitely going to have an impact, especially on who gets these first bloods.
A lot of awesome games off the start of today. We said drop shots inbound for both sides, as here come the flashes, as everyone's screen somewhat changed up, having to deal with the pressure of those gunfights along with it, as Monkeys does take down Noe for one of the first bloods of the game. And 2v1 situation, Dezo does win out. Like we said, Dezo been a very influential player so far for Ghost Gaming, and even in the early situations as well, it's been kind of the saving grace for what has allowed for Ghost Gaming to come through and pull off some of these mid-round swings. Mai still looking on and pretty much spectating what is going to be occurring, which is just a matter of who can get to that B hill first.
Yeah, you see the angles coming in. Monkey's trying to be hidden. Unfortunately, here comes Hefe on the flank. They get the down. You see the team fire coming in from Hive B, finally starting to be capped at that 70-point mark. Monkey's going to go ahead and eliminate himself there. And Hive, they're currently ones with the setup, right? They're kind of waiting to see what Ghost chooses to do next. Ghost has some of that positioning up there in the form of Identives, but unfortunately there is no hill over there just yet, right? The hill is over on the other side, so that positioning only so helpful at the moment. Let's see what Identives chooses to do. Starts to make his move. Looks like they've chosen to go to C. I think they know that B is going to be tough to push. OE comes in. Identives, in kind of the tip of the spear. He knows there's at least 2 members of Hive. They're waiting for him. There comes the drop shot. It's going to be Demise right there waiting for him, getting that double kill. That's going to stop at least the beginnings of that OE, and you see numbers have gone into Hive's hands once again. Of course, they have the 2-cap. They're just going to continue to rack up this time. Meanwhile, the members of Ghost Gaming are going to have to spawn back up and decide where their push is going to be next. Inzem going to be the one to help out the team. Looks like they might be moving forward a little bit themselves. Again, they don't want to go ahead and get wiped or anything. They don't want to go ahead and lose this valuable lead they've gotten. I think they're just waiting to play this defense that you're seeing in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. They got the job done. However, you notice that B push is being made from Ghost. Unfortunately, it's going to be somewhat contested as Identives does get dropped for the time. That's what we kind of talked about, right? It was a matter of how can Hive start to deal with these Ghost Gaming pushes. At least so far, they managed to do it pretty well. However, here comes the flash, and here comes the engagement. It's time. Starting to tick away. The bells are, in fact, now causing a little bit of a problem. Still receiving shots. Chaos is trying to stay alive right now as here comes Dezo for the near pinch. Trying to take some pressure off Chaos for the moment. Monkeys does, in fact, grab the drop shot. The time has to go now. They have to get over to C.
They have to get on that hill. They have a few more seconds. If they can manage to get that break, that'll at least give them an opportunity. The break starts to come in. They actually get at the 248 mark. Ghost trying to do the impossible right now. They are all over the hill. No members of Hive in sight. I don't think anyone's at B just yet. They end up getting actually fully eliminated at the 248 mark. The last second push from Ghost Gaming pulls it off, taking what would have been a 2-2 tie and extending that to a commanding 3-1 lead. Great job by the LATAM squad.
That's crazy. And we talk about, like, obviously the drop shots are influential, but how much different. I mean, the drop shot pretty much decided everything in that round, right? It was a matter of, off the start, we talked about Hive. How can they deal with these mid-round kind of pushes from Ghost? The way they did that was with the drop shot. How does the push in the end come through? How does Ghost Gaming manage to pull off a crazy upset like that? It was with the drop shot. Literally so influential when it comes down to these situations, as both times are going to be halved here at 75 now. But even still yet, I tell you what, man, that drop shot in the right situation, the right play, in the crucial moments, and Ghost hands more specifically, is so, so deadly, as that had Hive's name written all over it, Ryan.
And now you're going to see even more drop shots. As you mentioned, it has been half to 75 seconds, so more explosions to come. You see the initial Tidy getting strike first, taking down Sleeper. Identives with 2 members in front of him, trying to hold his ground. Drop shot, unfortunately, is going to stop that dead in its tracks. Currently a 5v3 situation in favor of Hive as they push forward on Dezo. Dezo trying to get some nice shots in there. He finally gets taken out. Sleeper and Chaos, all that remain. You see the members of Hive beginning to kind of push forward towards that C hill. Noe in the kill feed. They're continuing to kind of just farm these kills, try to get them off spawn. Members of Ghost decide now. Off spawn, do they want to go to C? Do they want to go for their home hill? Or maybe they try to redirect over towards B. You see the break coming in. Looks like Hive is defending over there, but look at the spawns right now, Len. You can see 3, almost 4 members now have decided that C is a lost cause. They're making their way over towards B, at least extending this round a little longer.
You'll see how they start to manage that a little bit, right? So Ghost, like you said, makes the overextensional now at B, and now their choice seems to be somewhat locked in. Looks as if Tiny's pretty much holding that cutoff, and you notice Sleeper is pretty much just trying to be as aware of that as possible. He decides to go ahead and dive on in. They utilize the flash to try and help them out a little. Sleeper's getting shot. He actually can't stay up enough, and you see the amount of players that drop at once on all fours. Monkeys just trying to stay alive. Unfortunately, cannot do that. That's 4 down. Monkeys rather Chaos, excuse me, the last man alive. Hive in a wonderful position right now.
And they're trying to hunt him. Luckily, he gets that kill onto Noe. Of course, Chaos was the last member alive from Ghost, giving his teammates some time to spawn back up. Of course, big time lead currently in favor of Hive. Ghost trying to kind of chip away from that. Even if Ghost does get this 2-cap, I don't think it puts him in position. I think that it'll still give Hive an opportunity to win off of one. Never mind, they will win with a 2-cap. Hive knows it now. They're moving forward. You see Inzem getting aggressive, gets one. He's waiting there for Monkeys, knows with that mark, another one's there. Hefe gets the drop shot. Unfortunately, Inzem was a little too close, a bit of a miscommunication there. Either way, that's going to put them on that B hill at least to maintain this lead. Of course, they're up by about 50 points as we head towards that 200 mark. This would give them a very, very commanding lead. They just cannot give up this position. They cannot give up these numbers. Demise stuck between a rock and a hard place. Does get the down at the last second. His teammate is there for the kill. I believe Noe should get the revive as well. The member that downed him was across the map, so that angle is not going to work. The revive comes in as we cross the 220 mark. Again, this is looking all like Hive. I don't think Ghost is in position to make the heroic comeback they made just last round. Hive's going to finally finish this one off, continue to close that gap, and now we're heading towards the last round of the first half.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, I mean, really, Ghost just didn't have the resources at that moment, especially with the tasks at hand. Definitely not enough to close it out, but regardless, I think in that one moment, right when they utilized the drop shot, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was a worthy transaction, right? You bring up the drop shot, do you lose an enemy, or rather do you lose a teammate along with an enemy? Yes. But I think in the overall scheme of things, the way the round had kind of presented itself, if you're Hive and you're up, you'll take trades all day because Ghost are the ones that have to kind of overcompensate, if you will, in these situations. So I think Hive in that moment, by kind of going for the play on what was B at the time, was definitely the right move in terms of this kind of how the score progressed.
Yeah, I mean, they were set up, like I said, they were positioned fine. I think there's a little bit of miscommunication. I don't think that Inzem had to be that close to the player. I think it was Hefe just kind of said, hey, I'm dropping that. That way Inzem can kind of back away from that. Again, though, they still had so many numbers in great position. They ended up cleaning up the round either way. You see Dennis once again stuck in a tough spot. Somehow doesn't go down by that drop. Inzem is there to clean it up. Monkey's trying to answer back. Numbers still in Hive's favor. That's going to be 3 down for Ghost, 2 down for Hive. Keep in mind, because we are in the 6th round, these are the quickest spawns of the first half. But the 3-cap is coming in. Ghost, I don't know if they're in position to get on that hill. I don't think anyone can get towards A at the last second. They cannot. No one off spawn is able to get there in time. A 36-second round comes in. Hive manages to tie up the first half in what could very well be a map where they're leading, right? They don't give up that kind of last second round. I think it was round 3. This could be a lead for them in the half.
Yeah, it's 3 of the last 4. You'll take it, that's for sure, especially in a fashion like that. Like we said, of course, low spawn rate regardless, though, or low timer, rather, but they get it done. We said life counts reset, weapons stay on. And we'll see how Ghost starts to respond back a little bit, because like we said, their early game hasn't been phenomenal. It's kind of been these, mid-round surges that have been so impressive from them. I'd like to think if that can start to change up, how more dominant can they be? As there we have it, Monkeys comes through, takes down Noe. Inzem finalized as well. Hive does get some sort of collection from it, but regardless, though, you do see in the kill feed 3 down in general for Hive as they'll look to try and hold on for as long as possible. That's not going to stop Ghost from grabbing the first 2 hills.
Yeah, like that aggression from Identims, right? He saw that the players were down. He saw that Hive was sort of in a chain revive sort of situation. Push forward, got 2 very, very quick kills. So good job by him to kind of help his team gain this position. Of course, they're starting to build that time lead. Hive is off spawn. These are the longest spawns we're going to see sort of this half. It's like Ghost is continuing what they've started for now. Pressure coming in. Inzem doing what he can to keep Hive in this. Noe and Tidy also in the kill feed. Good job by Hive off of spawn to kind of withstand that pressure and move forward and get some kills. You see Inzem pushing up forward once again, chasing down Dezo, trying to make sure he stays at pretty low health. Monkeys goes down in your kill feed too. Dezo in the 20s of health. Gonna start to regain 1v1 situation. If he's at least getting the break on the hill, it's gonna force Dezo to move forward. Otherwise, the trip cap will come in. He has no choice but to hop around or to hop over the cover. He does end up getting the kill. Inzem didn't need to move around that way. And Dezo ends up getting both players on the hill. A 2v1 from Dezo to take the hill. Next thing you know, numbers seem to be back in Ghost Gaming's favor. What a play coming in from Dezo now. He's having a hell of a map for himself.
Here come the 1v1 engagements yet again. The knife not able to land. Demise staying up for as long as possible. Once you get into that territory, it pretty much is lonely. Only body parts to pretty much try to gain confidence around is there we have it. Inzem, the boys from Hive, look to try and dive on in again. Dezo has to watch and pretty much stay at bay. Ghost Gaming, however, currently in control as they'll be taking over the points here in just a few moments. Monkeys takes down a few, and there we have it. Identims as well. That's going to be 4 down, and just like that, that'll be, what, 5 dropping instantly. Ghost Gaming, a great response here in round 7.
Yeah, again, to me, that play by Des and I was so huge. Kept them in, got some numbers back in their favor. That allowed Ghost once again in the mid-round.
For Dezo already.
Yeah, I mean, Dezo is going off for his team here. Like I said, their mid-round has been what has been shining through for this team. It seems like Hive has started off strong a number of times, but Ghost, just absolute aggression in the mid-round is what continues to win them rounds. Like I said, if that 2v1 is played the right way, we might not even be able to get there in the first place. So Dezo, to me, is the shining star of that round.
And you're also going to see both teams pretty much disabling the drop shots coming in this next round. Of course, you do see they're going to be locked for the next 3, which I think is a very interesting kind of addition when it comes down to Gears of War 5. The ability to pretty much disable a weapon for 3 rounds, I think, definitely kind of throws an interesting factor into it. But who do you think that kind of favors in the situation?
Yeah, it looks like so far it's favoring Ghost Gaming on this initial. We've seen the drop shots be the kind of the first piece of gunfire through every round so far. This time it's coming down to the shotguns, and it looks like those are favoring Ghost Gaming as 3 members go down for Hive. Only 2 remain. You see Hefe in a bad spot. He's going to be dropped. Tidy trying to use his Lantern to do anything he can. Unfortunately, he has just no teammates around him. He's going to be closed in on. Sleeper is going to be on the flank. Luckily, Hive did get a chance to spawn up, so now Ghost Gaming needs to kind of move forward together. Sleeper's holding strong over in the opposite home. They're going to miss the melee. He's going to pay for it. Now, Chaos going to be dropped. So it looks like Ghost, at least for now, won't finish this off just yet, but they still have started to build a lead with those 2 hills.
And we'll see if they can keep funneling off of it. Like we said, currently the decap over at D. As Hive look to try to grab that one. That will be the double home hill set up. Now the question remains for Ghost. What's the call? Of course, you do see Sleeper along with, I believe that's Chaos. Currently a 2v3 situation. Fire coming in from all different angles. For a few contributing parties, as here we have it. This is the hill. This is the fight that you have to make. Whoever grabs this one is going to have overall control when it comes down to the rest of this game. Kind of sets somewhat of the tone. Sleeper trying to make a play, kind of a bait and switch in this situation. Does manage to get out, fires through, and is getting some significant damage, but is so low on health he can only do as much as possible. That's going to be 3 down, and Ghost having to lick their wounds now.
Yeah, I like that rotation from Hive, going for that D and F split versus fighting for that neutral hill. It put kind of Ghost on their toes. They didn't necessarily expect that. Now they're able to kind of, you can see, try to wipe Ghost off their home hill. They still have held it for quite some time. You're going to see the Swarm team off the spawn trying to get back towards that D hill. Demise is going to finally be dropped after a very, very long stay on the Ghost Gaming home hill. Meanwhile, though, the E-hill being decapped as well, so while Ghost did manage to get their home hill back, they neglected the neutral hill, and Hive once again out-rotated them and managed to get over there at least for now.
Still crawl? Wow. And just to ground the teammate does Dezo. The total team player, you know, he just goes for constant eliminations. He's there to be the Mr. Support when necessary. The complete player. That's, I know you call Jerpy the perfect player. I'm going to call Dezo the complete player. You know, he does it all. Whether or not that'll translate for future games, I'm banking that it will. Regardless, here it comes. Hive yet again managing to grab D as they're already up when it comes in a score, and now the question remains for Ghost, can they break in?
I mean, they just continue to kind of put Ghost on their toes, rotating over towards the home hills, rotating over towards the neutral hills, constantly forcing them to redirect and move around that map with that lead. So great job from the Young Guns, tying it back up. Despite using a sub, they're looking pretty strong here as we are going to head into this round with a 4-4 tie.
Kind of reminds me of last week a little bit, you know? Just close games, all in all.
Absolutely.
Are we making an early call for round 13, or is that jinxing it? Or is me asking you, is that jinxing it now?
I mean, it's looking like it. I'm just looking ahead right now. Dezo, through 8 rounds, has 42 eliminations.
It's pretty good.
So if we make it all the way there, if we make it to that round 13,
are we on pace for a 60 bomb?
You could be you very well could get up there. I think the highest we saw last week was Toady, who I believe got 67 eliminations. I think we had a 63 bomb coming in from Speedy right before that.
Is that the highest? 67? Is that the highest in all of Gears of War 5?
You know, I think in Pro League, I want to say based on the stats that PR Prodigy those guys put out.
Yeah,
I think the highest I saw was, I want to say maybe 59 or low 60s, at least in the pro league. Again, those are isolated matches. I'm sure there's been outliers, whether it's in scrims or whatever else.
Right.
But I know the highest we saw in Emergence days last week was, I believe, 67. I think it was on Exhibit by Toady, and they lost. So nothing worse than a hot 67 for the big L.
That's the asterisk next to it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you may have nearly dropped nearly 70 kills, but the dub is in fact what matters. And speaking of dubs, looks as if could be the key to success if you have a guy like Enzem being involved in every single fight when necessary. And like we talked about, for those who are joining us a little bit late, Hive is in fact using a substitute. Of course, we do talk about it. It will be Enzem currently in for TJ, at least for Game 1. We'll get confirmation on whether or not TJ will, in fact, be joining us for Game 2. But as of this moment, that's the current update. Said Enzem definitely doing a decent amount of work, despite obviously not being his preferred roster. He's been carrying the load pretty well. And versus a very solid Ghost team as of recent, as we've been calling it, Ryan, they look to be kind of back in form more.
Look at this team fire coming in from Hive, just absolutely suffocating the members of Ghost, and Dezo is trying to get out. He's lucky to be out. He's going to be down. Chaos can be taken out. The cleanup coming in. Dezo end up not making it out of there. So I believe we're going to have Sleeper and Identivs off spawn. I think they're going to head over towards the neutral hill because you can see Demise, members of Hive, sort of sitting on the Ghost Gaming home hill once again. At the very, very least, I mean, Hive is doing a great job of building this lead while Ghost doesn't have a single hill to their name.
Gotta get something on board finally. They do manage to grab F. That doesn't come without its struggles, however, as there goes Sleeper. And Monkey's pretty much just has to, sit at bay. Watching a few of his teammates begin to fall, they need to kind of collect themselves here and start to kind of push something, but they've been so limited on man count, it's been incredibly difficult. And now it's time for the waiting game. Try to find a pick, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, this absolutely favors Hive right now. Of course, they have the 2-cap. They have the setup. Ghost gets to make the decision now. They're going to throw those good coordinated smokes. Looks like Tidy is not going to let them, picking up 2.
He's a turret.
Stopping that push dead in its track. Now you're going to see Monkeys is just absolutely surrounded by members of Hive. Demise going to make him pay. Sleeper doing his best to get out. You see Identivs all the way sort of up towards the home hill. Knows that there's just not a ton he can do just now. Sleeper manages to actually pick off 1. Shouldn't be lasting too much longer. That you see Demise going to be right behind him. Going to continue to shoot, get those angles, know where he can go. And despite Identivs kind of pushing around, getting 1, he's got to make a massive, massive play to get Ghost in this. Gets a couple nice shots. Unfortunately, there's just too many members of Hive there waiting. No one's going to spawn back up. Ghost going to just play the respawn game, right? Keep their economy strong. And Hive has come out with a 5-4 lead as we head towards these final few rounds. I believe this will put the drop shot back in play. I think that was the 3rd round. No, lock for one more.
Okay, there we go. I gotta say what, the score is currently 5-4. Also, Hive has won 4 of the last 5 rounds.
We did notice they seemed to be a second-half team last week. We saw them come alive a lot more on second halves in week 1 of Emergence days.
And maybe along with a new teammate. I mean, it's going to take some time for things to kind of start to form. You're talking about communication. You're talking about a few different factors. So, like I said, that kind of maybe label of a second-half team could be very indicative of them also utilizing a substitute. Not to mention the fact that now the boom gets thrown into play.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can say maybe they're better with power weapons as the map develops, but the drop shot's been locked, right? So they've been doing well. Like you said, their team fire's been very impressive. They've been using their Lancers well. Enzem, it's a nice full spread onto Identivs, and ends up having that kill cleaned up. Once again, the early game favors Hive as they come out, at least for now, on top of this initial. You're going to see Monkeys just trying to get back. I don't know if they know that Dezo's there waiting for him. He was kind of hiding there. Finally makes himself known. At the very least, Hive comes away with the objectives. Gotta be careful. Not to ruin a good start, but they continue to move forward. You saw Hefe get taken very close. The boom shot comes in from the heavens. It's going to be Sleeper. Now you see Hive a little bit on their toes too. Enzem going to be dropped. Demise and Hefe out. No, he's out.
Tidy
just became the last one remaining. Like I said, Hive, they put us in such a good position. Had the 2 hills. And the next thing you know, they're almost all dead.
Oh, not fire. I was ready for it. I was ready for Tidy just to come through with the craziest clutch of all time. However, goes far too smart for that. Said, wait, we haven't seen the boom get fired as of yet. That's definitely going to cause a decent explosion.
It looks like they might be going for an OE. You see a couple members of Hive. So on the outside, you see that boom shot rotating through towards the middle as well. Looks like they're choosing to go towards the D hill once again. They've done this a couple times now to Ghost Gaming and taken their home hill. Ghost trying their best to play better defense this time. It looks like it's working so far. Dezenite going to stop Noe. You see Enzem going to choose not to move forward as well. I think Hive might know that that's not the push that's going to be successful. Looks like they might redirect. over towards E. They haven't made that decision quite yet. In the meantime, though, Ghost, they've now taken the lead, right? They're the ones sitting pretty with these two hills. They're the ones in the defensive position. Boomshot's still on long spawns.
Oh, that's a
Sleeper
big shot.
Get two big full spreads. Gonna be there for the revive, though. So at the very least now, Hive knows there's a gatekeeper waiting. Couple bolts of damage come in. You see Tidy just absolutely lit up. He has to be careful. He has the boom shot. He has what can be the catalyst to this push. So he cannot go down here. Needs to put that to use. Might be able to get a double kill here depending on how close the Ghost members go. Inzem not going to let him use it just yet. Getting that kill. Heidi manages to still stay alive, and Inzem gets the second one. So 2 kills come in for Hive without having to use that boom shot. Now Tidy gets to rotate the boom up towards the other teammates, and it looks like once again they don't need it. Tidy still manages to hold this boom.
Oh my gosh.
Ghost still wins on one. They see on the top of your screen.
Do.
Swarm win in 36 seconds. Hive needs to move forward. Needs to get a break at the very least. Tidy's still holding that boom. Deciding when to use it. I think he's going to end up rotating over there. Now Hefe's going to have a boom. The break comes in. That's the big break Hive needed.
Oh,
he shoots a boom. No! Almost at himself. That would have been quite the clip had that connected. Luckily, does not finish him off. He managed to make up for it by pushing around and taking out Chaos. Hive gonna win the final engagement, put themselves on map point, and that would have been something else had that boom shot connected. But to be honest, I think Hive had the round one either way.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, the hype around that particular moment where it was like, I'm getting to watch the replay. I'm sorry, Tidy, but it's just the way that it goes sometimes. We were waiting for so long for him to finally utilize it, and that's what happens. Just, you know, it malfunctioned. Oh, we're watching this again? Oh, I thought, we're really going to watch this over and over again? We're going to roast Tidy that much? It's fine. No big deal. No worries. We love Tidy, although his boom shot was maybe a little bit questionable. Regardless,
he's gonna make up with like a triple next watch.
He will.
He's gonna. I'm confident.
I'm ready for the kill feed. I'm ready for the observer to focus solely on Tidy. No, I'm joking. But like we said, boom, drop, and play for both sides now.
Both at 75 too.
Yep.
So there's gonna be a lot of explosions coming, Landon. Say that we used to call it. You remember from Gears 4? We called it a fiesta when there was one boom and one drop. I mean, I don't even think
fiesta all the time.
Now it's just like I said last week. Life's a party at this point.
That's for sure. Especially when guys like Dezo and Inzem are on the map. His first blood does strike. Hefe has to suffer the fall. It's Leafer as well. Looks like Ghost Gaming already off the start, utilizing their power weapons and clear usage of it. Here comes the assassination from good old Chaos. Because like we said, off their initial, this is what you want to see from a roster like Ghost, kind of instantly having that impact, as now they're forcing for the domination.
Can you get that touch? Someone hops on E. It's gonna be Noe. Gets the full break. Is that gonna buy his teammates enough time? You see Tidy and Inzem still alive onto the D hill. Spawns are getting quicker and quicker. Inzem gets Sleeper we least expected. That's gonna keep Hive in this for now. Gotta play a little more defense. You see Identiv's pushing forward. Cleanup kills coming in. Ghost getting a couple revs of their own. A big fight coming in on the D hill. Hefe, where they least expect it, comes in. Numbers back in Hive's favor. They're gonna push forward towards that E hill now. Ghost not able to finish that off with a trip cap. Defense coming in. Monkeys was in there for him, but Demise got the call out, or at least caught him before he could get the shot off. New round of drop shots, new round of boom shots. Like I said, we're going to see a lot of explosions coming in. Demise going to run right into that drop shot at the hands of Dezo. A little bit of a push and pull fight coming in towards E. Again, the hill is still in the favor of Ghost Gaming. Tidy's going to hop on and get that break. Hive has a lot of ground to make up, down about 145 to 53.
Yeah, I think at this point, if you're Ghost, it's pretty much just trying to assess the situation at this moment, right? You're kind of keeping in mind the score, but you also have to kind of consider the situation at hand in terms of rotations, right? How do we want to try to engage upon E, or maybe even make the OE for D, depending on the situation. Regardless, though, of course, we kind of know what the ideal focus is, but try to catch these angles, right? Be aware of the equipment that you've got in terms of both the boom and the drop shot, because at least as of now, we've got Hefe and Inzem with those both, and it's like for Ghost, they pretty much just got monkeys on patrol with the boom. Sleeper instantly receiving some fire, has to back up, and you notice, like we said, Hive, full-on spread. They're being aware of this OE, but it looks as if Ghost, they're preferring D as of this moment.
You see Hive waiting for it. Inzem going to put that boom shot to use. It's going to kind of stop Ghost a little bit in their tracks. You see, despite starting off at a pretty big deficit, COG team is still in position to win with this 2-cap. Again, the biggest difference with this new hill setup, how you get 2 to 1 points versus the old 1.5 to 1. You can make up ground so much quicker with a 2 hill setup. Ghost Gaming knows they got to make a push. It looks like they've chosen E. At least remembers their drop shot is going to be there waiting. Hefe's going to connect on one. Noe trying to get the kill on Monkeys. Monkey's going to stop and take a drop shot of his own.
Oh.
Gets a hit marker, but not a kill. Ghost needs to hop on that E-hill. I think they know. I think they're taking the time. But Hefe's there with the drop shot.
That's
Monkeys
3v1.
gets the full. And Demise actually takes out his teammate. They should still, if Hive can still manage to get this 2-cap, that should still, within the round, you can see they're going to make up that time. That should do it. Nothing Ghost can do, and the first map is in the books. Young Guns on Hive win 4 straight, and despite using a sub, come out on top.
Yeah, I got to say, it was somewhat surprising at different moments. We were thinking about how this was going to kind of impact them, and you brought up at the start of this series how important it was for Ghost to lock this first game up. They don't get it done, and now we're in a situation of which we're kind of going back to the drawing board.